during the process of recording United Slaves of America, the album was lost. It actually crashed on my engineer's computer.
Oh, damn.
And they were never to recover the files. So now that the jump off's over, I'm getting back to work on United Slaves of America, and the scheduled date is going to be March 8th, which is my 24th birthday.
Hey.
And also the 6th anniversary of Lounge Battles in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about Lounge Battles and your participation, your involvement in that?
Right. Well, 6 years ago, I was in a battle called Illfest in Atlanta. It was a huge battle. They were going to give 5 Gs. 6 years ago, 5 Gs was pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
Parable was there. I actually got first place. Parable got second. I beat him there. That's the first time I met Parable, too.
Okay.
They ended up giving me a G, and the money was counterfeit.
Serious?
Yeah. At that point, I figured, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to do my own thing. And that's when I figured, you lead by example, So I said, I'm an MC. I know exactly what an MC wants, you know what I mean, at a show, at a battle. So I decided to throw my own battle, and that's where Lounge Battles comes from. And it's called Lounge Battles because we did it at a spot called the AKA Lounge.
Okay.
So it's appropriate, and I always have it at AKA Lounge. Like that's the spot for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's basically how I build. And now everywhere I travel, I try to build with certain people and bring them out. That because I'm being exposed to everybody's different styles on the West Coast. Detroit, and I'm picking up as a battle MC. I'm able to pick up all these different styles, and that plays a major role in why I've been a successful battle rapper.
In terms of like your artistic development.
Right, because I get exposed to this all the time. So what I want to do for where I'm from, which is Orlando, is bring all that influence to Orlando. That
kind
way,
of a melting pot.
Exactly. So it helps. That's my main intention for Lounge Battles is to create a platform for our local artists, to build off of. And to a point where if you do win the battle, you're making some sort of noise somewhere. You know?
So how is it that you learned about Jump Off as a specific platform to be involved in? How did you first come across that?
Harry contacted me for Spin the Mic. And it was on some, if you make it out here, you have a spot.
Okay.
My management at the time booked my plane ticket, and I was scheduled to go, whatever, and then I missed my flight because of my management. I fired him that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You missed it? You just weren't able to get there in time?
We weren't able to get there in time. The next flight would have got me there too late.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So that's basically how I first got introduced to Jump Off. Then I started going on Jump Off TV. Looking up all the battles and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, they're really doing stuff. And then for the World Rap Championships, I wasn't even supposed to. I honestly thought that Jump Off was not.
This is 06, yeah.
Yeah.
06, yeah.
I remember there was some MCs contacting me to go to partner up, and I didn't want to because at that point it wasn't in my budget. I was going to go to Scribble Jam 2 weeks later, and I saved up to go there. Yeah. So I couldn't afford it, and then I got Parable to call me, and I respected him as a battle MC, like at the time, he was like one of the dudes,
Yeah.
And he said, yo, we could do this, let's do it. And he said, yo, I'll front you the money, and you just pay me back later. So I was like, free trip, let's go.
Right.
I ended up, how I paid him back, I ended up going to these battles where they were, you get like a TV if you win. I went to a couple of battles where I got like some satellite radios and some
so you pawned them
some
pretty
TVs
much?
And I sold them to pay Parable back.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And that's how I got involved in that, and then we did it and we were like, oh man, we got something here, you know what I'm saying? So this year coming up, it was only right.
Yeah. Since now you've had time to look at footage of the other divisions, are there any specific, maybe new faces that you're particularly impressed with their performances, or even people from last year too that you particularly enjoyed?
The Source Immaculate, Marvin Quest, but they're not new faces.
Right.
Franchise.
Yeah.
From Houston division. That guy's a monster, and I'd never heard of him. That guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Kid Twist. Kid Twist is dope. Waps and Juice. Killing Him in Tahoe.
Yeah.
Killing Him to do with the multi-syllable joints, right?
Yeah.
That dude is nasty, man. That dude's nice. Everybody that was here tonight was really, really good. Like, aside from the footage that you see, the regular footage, everybody probably they look to be at the best that they've ever been in their life.
Everyone seemed very amped. Very much they brought another level of their game.
Those are pretty much the people that stick out in my mind.
Speaking of the new kind of video internet element that's being brought to battles, I was wondering what your thoughts were about. We were talking about this last night about live performance versus what gets seen on video.
I think it's good that the world is now able to see, what we're putting all our efforts into. It's easily accessible, but at the same time, it takes away from the quality of the actual event. Because you can take the footage and you can watch the battles, you analyze them for their lines and stuff like that, and that's kind of reaching too far into what's going on. You're missing the entire atmosphere, the feeling that's going on at the time, the fatigue that's starting to set in, not with just the MCs but the judges, the crowd. You don't get that feeling, in a video. Like, most of these videos are watched during someone's lunch break or while they're at home Saturday morning. They wake up and they want to watch some videos. Like, you're paying attention to every specific word. Nothing's distracting you, where you're in the actual environment that day, and things are a lot different. Like, some of the calling, that even, for example, in the Atlanta division, where the judges were tired. They were really getting tired of the gay jokes. They were getting tired of, they weren't showing favor to us. They were getting tired of, like, the Mexican jokes, and they specifically said, we're getting tired of that. And for these dudes directing Hemisphere to go right back on that, they got really pissed. And people don't see that at home. They're like, oh, that's funny. He's a Mexican. He should expect those jokes. It's not my fault. It was the judges.
Right, in terms of how.
Exactly. They're the ones, and they specifically said, like, can you guys be more creative? Because they're getting nothing but these jokes. So
here's a question of, like, what do judges have that privilege of trying to steer the content of,
Technically, I mean, in a perfect world, every battle that's judged should be looked at like it's the first battle of the day. It just really takes away from the quality of an event. When you get into editing and chopping up stuff, it really takes away from it. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool that we get to see this. I got to see some of my favorite battle rappers on videos.
I would have never seen before, just because of sheer geographic reasons.
So that's cool and all, but it applies to the same, like, with MCs, right? At first there wasn't that many. Now they're everywhere. It makes it a lot harder for people who actually have content to do anything.
And you're trying to sift through so many people wanting to step up.
So you got the videos that would come out every now and then. That was cool. Now you have, and I'm not blaming Jump Off or nothing, but
just about the internet in general.
The internet in general. You got all these battles all day long, and now they're starting, like, a lot of stuff is out there, but they're just starting to get lost out there in the world of battling. They're always there. Like, of course, I'll use that to market myself, and I know exactly how to put that on there, and that's where it's a gift. But the curse is